kicking off the AFC East with none other than the New England Patriots, a team that dominated the division for nearly 2 decades, winning the division for 17 out of 19 years, starting in the 2001 NFL season. Following Tom Brady's departure, the team strayed from its dynasty era and has been searching for a renewed identity under coach Bill Belichick. With that being said, I believe this offseason they took a solid step in the right direction. They further fortified their defense with their top 3 draft picks: Christian Gonzalez, Keon White, and Marte Mapu. Christian Gonzalez is a great scheme fit cornerback for the team. In college, he played some of the most press coverage snaps of any cornerback in Power 5, and the Patriots played the most press coverage of any team in the NFL at 62%. The Patriots addressed a major team need, and Gonzalez should excel for the team. The team's high press coverage rate should help their second-round draft pick, defensive end Keon White, generate sacks and quarterback pressures. White is joining one of the league's most productive defenses in terms of sacks, and he should be another great scheme fit. Similarly, Marte Mapu should excel when on the field and has a play style like that of Isaiah Simmons on the Arizona Cardinals, being he is a position-flexible player and should be able to find a dynamic role in the defense. Starting in round 4 and beyond, the team added talent to the offensive line in various depths. In the offseason, the team added some key offensive weapons in Mike Gesicki and Juju Smith-Schuster. While it is yet to be seen how the personalities of Gesicki and Juju will mesh with the coaching style and personality of Belichick, these players should excel in the team's dynamic scheme. James Robinson was signed to a 2-year deal this offseason, however, was cut from the team following the first day of mandatory minicamp. While Robinson has been injury-prone during his time in the league, I believe he was a solid addition to their committee backfield following Damian Harris's departure. However, the backfield should be in good hands between Ramondre Stevenson and Ty Montgomery behind a somewhat improved offensive line. In conclusion, I give the New England Patriots a B+. They primarily invested in their defense in the 2023 draft and used free agency to add offensive weapons. Additionally, using free agency and the draft to add needed depth to their offensive line to better protect Mick Jones and increase rush efficiency. My biggest questions for the team going into this season are: will Juju convince Belichick to do a TikTok dance with him? And will the new additions be enough to make it past the wild card weekend in the playoffs? Next on deck out of the AFC East is the New York Jets, a team that has largely been dormant during Zach Wilson's reign. However, they drafted well in 2022, and the team began taking noticeable steps forward, arguably having the best draft of 2022. Furthermore, the team drafted well this year, as well as they invested in line of scrimmage in the early rounds, with Will McDonald IV as their first rounder, followed up by Joe Tippmann in the second and Carter Warren in the fourth. I believe their early round picks were spent well, starting with defensive end Will McDonald. While he is undersized, he achieved a respectable number of sacks and pressures during his collegiate career, and that alone is something the Jets' defensive line has not excelled with. While I do not believe he is a day one starter, I do believe McDonald has the potential and situation to earn a starting spot by the end of the year. Continuing with center Joe Tippmann, he was a great value pick at number 43, and will add needed depth to protect their newly added quarterback. I will touch on that shortly. But continuing on, Tippmann has the potential to earn a starting role and become an impact player relatively quickly. And the last of their early draft picks were spent on tackle Carter Warren. Warren added depth to their offensive line room that most likely will not be a day one impact player. However, a respectable developmental player. He does have some penalty-related issues that will need to be addressed, but this can be corrected with time. Addressing the elephant in the room, the Jets made a considerable trade for former Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers. While Rodgers has been down as of recently, I believe he will bounce back in a new scheme and setting. Worth mentioning also, the team ironically acquired 2 of his former tenured receivers, Lazard and Cobb, in free agency as well. There were several draft picks in the trade. However, the team ultimately gave up this year's 3rd round pick and next year's 2nd rounder. Additionally, the teams effectively swapped 1st round picks and each swapped a day 3 pick. In free agency, the team clearly went into the period with skill positions in mind, signing Mecole Hardman, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, and Ty Johnson. The receiver additions, in my opinion, were all good additions, and they will take some pressure off Garrett Wilson. However, Ty Johnson is a bit of a head-scratcher for me. I don't expect him to be more than a minor rotational player for the team behind a healthy Breece Hall and Michael Carter. Concluding the Jets, I believe they had another great offseason, and the team improved noticeably. This year, they should be borderline playoff contender, and I look forward to seeing how the team, with a veteran quarterback at the helm and an improved receiver room, performs. Overall, I give the team a B, plus that they addressed key team needs this offseason. The make or break for this team will be how Rodgers fares in the new scheme and against Father Time. Next on deck in the division is the Miami Dolphins, a team that has largely finished middle of the pack in recent years, having last won the division in 2008. The team is under young leadership with a younger quarterback at the helm. However, the duo is showing promising potential. Barring any unforeseen injuries and lackluster training staff moves, I would expect this team to improve some this year. Prior to the draft, the team took a major blow by having their 2023 first-round draft pick revoked. This was due to proven communications with Tom Brady while he was still on the Buccaneers' active roster during the 2021 season and in instances prior. However, continuing with their draft, the team made a respectable move, trading their third-round pick for the year and Hunter Long to the Rams in exchange for Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey will be a solid complement to an effective defensive unit from last year. Carrying on with their remaining draft picks with their second-round pick and first pick of the 2023 draft, the team took Cam Smith, a cornerback with a high ceiling that will complement an improved defensive unit. In the third round, the team took running back Devin Achane. He comes into a committee backfield that could lead to valuable snaps for the rookie. Achane brings good value for his draft position and was a good addition to the team. In terms of free agent signings, the team did not make any major splashes. Their signings were predominantly resigning. It was worth noting that they did exercise Tua's fifth-year option and elected to bring him back for one more year. If they can keep Tua healthy and protected, I believe he has extremely high potential in the league. Concluding the team, I believe they had an okay offseason given the hand that they were dealt. The loss of their first-round pick was a major blow to the team and hindered the offseason. However, with all things considered, I give the team a B. The team didn't have any major losses and addressed team weaknesses. The team does lose some points in my book due to the lack of meaningful offensive line additions. Their starting offensive line is above average for the league. However, their depth remains limited. Concluding the division with the Buffalo Bills, a team that has run the division for the past few years. The team made some great additions, mostly playing the draft safe and addressing roster gaps in free agency. In the draft, the team took tight end Dalton Kincaid with their late first-round pick. While I am not high on drafting tight ends in the first round, I think they were in a good position to draft a stud receiving tight end. I expect him to be played behind Dawson Knox, but frequently alongside him in select packages. In the next round, the team drafted Osiris Torrance late in the second round. I view this pick as fantastic value for the draft position. Torrance will immediately add to the offensive line unit depth and help buy Josh Allen time in the pocket. He will hopefully improve the team's rushing offense as he develops into a likely future asset for the team. In the third, the team drafted linebacker Dorian Williams. Williams is a dynamic player that will likely immediately see special teams snaps and potentially some true linebacker snaps. He is young with an aggressive and quick play style with the potential to be developed into a force in the years to come. Carrying on with the team's key free agent additions, Connor McGovern and Damian Harris were the two that stuck out to me the most. Connor McGovern is like Osiris Torrance in his impact. They will both be welcomed additions by Josh Allen in the backfield, with McGovern being the likely starter between the two key guard additions, following an aging Roger Stafford's departure. Damian Harris's addition, along with a returning James Cook, should prove to be a quality backfield, considering Devin Singletary's departure. I expect Cook to resume a majority of the team's receiving back duties, with Damian Harris handling the remaining duties. Overall, I have high expectations for the Bills, and I believe this squad could go all the way. I give the team's offseason an A. They improved their offense thoroughly in terms of protecting Allen and providing him with several quality new offensive weapons. While there were not many key changes on the defensive side of the ball, the team returns a strong majority of a formidable 2022 defensive unit with similar expectations